There was a boy named Arun who lived in a small village near the mountains. He was 12 years old, clever, and full of energy. But there was one problem. Arun talked all the time. He talked in school, he talked while eating, and he even talked when no one was listening. When his teacher asked a question, Arun always shouted the answer before anyone else could speak.
His friends liked him, but sometimes they felt tired because he never let others talk.
Arun, his mother, often said, "Sometimes silence says more than words." But Arun only smiled and replied, "How can silence say anything, Mama? Silence has no sound." His mother just smiled back. She knew time would teach him what words could not. One day, a new teacher came to the village school. His name was Mr. Dev, a calm man with kind eyes. He didn't speak loudly like other teachers. He spoke slowly and softly, but when he spoke, everyone listened. Aaron was curious. How does he make everyone quiet without shouting? He wondered. In class, Mr. Dev often paused between his words. The room would go silent. The only sound was the wind outside or the birds in the trees. At first, Arun felt strange. He wanted to talk, to fill the silence, but he didn't. Something about Mr. Dev's quietness made him want to listen. After class, Arun went to him and asked, "Sir, why do you stay quiet so much? Doesn't it make you bored?" Mr. Dev smiled. "Silence is never boring if you know how to listen to it. Silence helps us hear what words cannot." Arun didn't understand fully, but the teacher's words stayed in his mind. A week later, the school announced a debate competition. The topic was what makes a person strong, words or silence. Arun was excited. He quickly raised his hand. "I will speak 4 words," he said loudly. Everyone laughed, knowing how much Arun loved to talk. Mr. Dev was one of the judges. He looked at Arun with a small smile. "Good," he said. "Let's see what the power of words can do." Arun spent days preparing his speech. He practiced in front of the mirror, in front of his friends, and even in front of his dog. His speech was long and full of big words. When the debate day came, Arun spoke confidently. His voice filled the hall. He spoke fast, with energy, and everyone clapped when he finished. Then came his opponent, a quiet girl named Mira. She was small and shy, and everyone thought she would lose. But when Mira stood up, she didn't start speaking right away. She looked at the audience for a few seconds, silently. The room became still. Then she said, softly, "Silence is not weakness. It is the space where truth can breathe." Her voice was calm, but her words were strong. Every sentence was simple but full of meaning. When she finished, the hall was silent again, not because no one cared, but because everyone was thinking deeply. When the results came, Mira won. Arun was surprised and disappointed. After the event, he went to Mr. Dev. "Sir," he said, "I spoke louder. I used better words. Why did I lose?" Mr. Dev smiled gently. Because Arun, you tried to be heard. Mira tried to be understood, and sometimes understanding grows only in silence. A few months later, something happened that changed Arun's life. One night, a big storm hit the village. The wind was strong, trees fell, and power lines broke. Everyone was scared. Arun and his family stayed inside their small house, holding each other. In the middle of the storm, they heard a loud cry from outside. It was their neighbor, old Grandpa Ram, calling for help. His roof had fallen. Arun's father grabbed a lantern and ran out. "Stay here," he shouted, but Arun was too worried. He followed his father into the rain. The wind howled, and they could barely see. The noise was loud: thunder, rain, and falling branches. Arun tried to shout to his father, but his voice was lost in the storm. Suddenly, a tree fell behind them, blocking the way back. Arun froze. His father looked around, trying to find a safe path. "Arun, stop talking and listen," his father shouted. "We can't see, so we must listen." Arun closed his mouth. For the first time, he focused only on the sounds: the wind, the direction of the water, the creak of trees. Slowly, he could hear a faint voice, Grandpa Ram's cry. They followed the sound, step by step, until they found him under a broken roof. Together, they pulled him out and carried him to safety. When they finally returned home, Arun realized something. In the loudest storm, silence inside his mind had guided him. If he had kept talking, he might not have heard Grandpa Ram's voice at all. That night, he understood what silence could do. After that night, Arun changed. He still talked, but not as much. In class, he began to listen more. He noticed things he had never noticed before: the chirping of birds outside, the sound of chalk on the board, the way people smiled when they were understood. When his friends argued, he didn't jump in right away. He listened first, then spoke calmly. Because of that, people began to trust his words more. Even his teacher, Mr. Dev, saw the change. One day, he said to the class, "True strength is not in shouting the loudest. It's in knowing when to stay silent." Arun smiled. He knew that lesson was for him, and he was proud. Many years passed. Arun grew up and became a teacher himself. He was kind, patient, and calm, just like Mr. Dev. His students liked him because he always listened to them carefully. When they were upset or confused, he didn't rush to speak. He waited, giving them time to find their own words. One day, a young student asked him, "Sir, why are you always so quiet? Don't you ever get angry or tired?" Arun smiled and said, "Silence is my best friend. It gives me strength when I'm weak, peace when I'm angry, and clarity when I'm lost." Then he told them the story of the storm and how silence had saved a life. The students listened in awe. When he finished, he said softly, "Never be afraid of silence. Sometimes it speaks louder than words ever can." Years later, when people spoke of Arun, they said, "He was not a man of many words, but every word he spoke mattered. He had learned that silence is not emptiness. It is full of listening, learning, and understanding. He taught his students that silence has many powers. It helps us hear others. It helps us think clearly. It keeps peace inside us. It gives space for truth to grow. And that was the greatest lesson of all, the power of silence. Silence is not weakness, it is strength. Talking can make noise, but silence can create meaning. Sometimes the quietest people say the most, without a single word.